From Japan, we had received a collection of Super Famicoms known elsewhere in the world as the Super Nintendo, and you can watch the unboxing of them and a few other bits and bobs from Japan on this channel. Hey, I'm the K-Man, and this video we're going to go and check through each one of these Super Famicoms. Hopefully they're all working, and the first one we're going to have a look at is one that doesn't look really all that great. It's heavily yellowed and, you know, the plastic looking a little bit, well, brittle, just to put an understatement to it. And there's a little bit of corrosion on the back. To open it, I had to get these special screw bit heads. They're just the regular security screws that you find that you need to use for a lot of the Nintendos, and inside is a bit easier just using Phillips heads. Taking off the lid to reveal the inside looked okay until I flipped it over to reveal the horrors within. So much, who knows, like could even be 30-year-old caked on dust inside. Some of that stuff was so thick on that it wasn't easily going to be removed by your finger without a bit of rubbing, and a little bit of corrosion like on this, but strangely enough not on underneath. So I could have a look underneath the PCB. One of the things I had to take off was the plastic lever that is the eject mechanism for the cartridge. Then disconnecting the ribbon cable that connects the front controllers and power LED, and looking underneath it looks pretty clean, except for, you know, just in the corner there by the reset switch where some of the dust must have fallen in and spread out. This PCB, just from a quick inspection, it looks pretty alright, with yeah, just sort of more corrosion on casing and stuff like that. So giving it a bit of a test, all I could get out of it was a bit of sound. Even though the first time I tried it, I did get a bit of flaky video when I wiggled the controller cartridge. So maybe it's still a bit too dirty or corroded inside there, or a bit of a dry joint on the board. Hopefully something simple to fix. The next Famicom to try out is the second most yellowed one, which looking inside is so much cleaner thanks to the case being still intact. And yeah, pretty much everything's looking pretty nice from a, you know, brief visual inspection. Unfortunately, when I screwed it back together, the case did crack a little bit in the corner there. Just got to be careful with these old plastics. Switching it on, I did get a picture, which gradually looked a little bit messed up as it went on, and was flicking the screen on and off as well. I did try wiggling the cartridge in its slot, and it sometimes made the picture better, sometimes worse, so possibly a hint there. I also found that leaving the Super Famicom on for a little while did improve the video signal, so probably a bit of a hint there as well. If you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments. The other regular size Super Famicom is actually 4 years newer than the other two, has a shorter PCB, and looks pretty good inside. I decided still to go and give its cartridge slot a bit of a clean out with the good old toothbrush, and I had absolutely no worries playing any of the games on it. The Super Famicom Jr is even newer, but still uses the same security screws and power supply. Looking inside, they've definitely gone and condensed everything down, with the whole PCB area and all the other mechanics sort of gone, and it's known as the one chip console because, well, obviously they've thrown a whole pile of stuff into one chip. I got a bit of extra help looking at this particular console, with my cat giving it the good old sniff test. But I think he was actually kind of a bit more interested in the screws that I put over there. Nope, no, not for you. But if you don't have a cat to go check while your Super Famicom Jr isn't turning on, make sure you're using the correct cables, because the Junior can only accept composite video unlike the other Super Famicoms. Check that your power supply is the correct one, but also check that the PCB is looking fairly alright, at least to the casual observer. Use a multimeter to check that there is still continuity on this little fuse just near the power transistor. And speaking of that transistor, make sure that your multimeter is reading 9 volts going in and 5 volts going out. Replace whatever's needed, and hopefully when you plug it in, everything will be looking fine, just like mine. And next on the list to check was my pile of controllers, which these all worked, and it was only these ones that didn't work. Strangely enough, it was always the left D-pad which had a bit of a problem. Then it's on to the funnest part, testing the games, which of course I went and cleaned out the bottoms because, man, these things got a lot of dust and gunk on their pins over the years. These cartridges worked with minimal cleaning. These ones needed an extra clean or two, and these ones look like they need a bit more to get working. I've only had a bit of a quick play of these games for reasons that will be obvious very soon, and the first one is Mystery Dungeon, which is made by the same people who made Dragon Quest. You're the shopkeeper actually from Dragon Quest 4, and yeah, so far probably not going to be able to play this game so easy, but we'll see. Oh, yep. I knew this would happen. Thanks, Ken. So there's been a lot of use of Google Translate to get me through this particular game, but yeah, I don't know. You sort of get used to what the general gist of all the different stuff that people say to you in the game, and yeah, it's kind of playable if you can't speak Japanese, kinda. This game is quite playable for a non-Japanese speaker. Othello World, well, as long as you can play the game Othello, you're guided by a little rabbit who, yeah, makes you want to pull out the good old Google Translate again at the beginning. But once you're in the game, yep, it's just regular old Othello, and yeah, it's got this really nice vibe to it. Been having good fun playing that one. But my favourite has been Super Donkey Kong, known outside of Japan as Donkey Kong Country, where, yeah, a lot of it is actually written in English, surprising amounts actually. You even find in-game that there's a bit of English put in there, maybe to make the whole port easier, or maybe he's an English-speaking donkey. So lots of fun to be had, and I hear there is actually a way to put a bit of English into these game cartridges. Also lots of stuff to fix up, and hopefully we can get all 4 of them working. So stay tuned to the channel. I also like to cover a bit of new and retro gaming and related tech, so hit subscribe if you like that. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and most of all, thanks for watching.